Yes, Liebert had a question and Linda had a question. Liebert was asking about the trees. Are there specific trees that can be harmful, or are all trees good, but some stronger than others, as in banyan trees for spontaneous?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So obviously I've been doing this, like I said, for 17 years, so training, taking people into the trees. So now, what do you mean by harmful at first? Because a lot of these things are like become, because the people, especially from the Chinese side, and live young, obviously you're Chinese, well, we call Xu Jing, yeah, the spirit. Oh, the spirit comes out. So of course, you frighten the living daylight out of it because it's harmful. So the next time when I do the Qigong, we're using the physiological reaction of it. Okay, yeah, very powerful. And if you don't understand it, you will be really frightened. You think that the devil is coming out, the spirit, bad spirit coming out. So this so-called harmful, how people justify the word harmful. True, yeah? So it's a reaction. Shall we say it is a reaction? So each individuals are different. Now, each trees are different. That's a good question. Yeah. And so what we can do is we can refer back to the TCM now, the external white down Taoist medicine now, with using the herbs. Now, for 5,000 years, we're using these natural elements from the trees, the tree bark, the fruit of the tree leaf, and roots like ginseng. Yeah, all of those. We have 5,000 years in Chinese herbal remedies, right? We have records on that. Now, I don't specialize in it, but Professor Rong Ji, now he would, I invite him from Guangxi University, my colleague, and he will come to do 1 or 2 lessons on that, because 5,000 years there have been record of what trees, okay, have the property of cure cancer and to cure different things, because it's accumulation of knowledge. Of course, people die. Of course, people die. Yeah, because everything is a trial and error, isn't it? Yeah. So without failure, how are we going to have, the success? But over thousands of years, you're coming down. Now, you go to a herbalist, you trust them, okay? Because he knows exactly which type of tree root, tree bark, tree leaf, tree fruit, okay? Like I said, I'm not qualified on that. I'm using, we're using the energy methodology to connect with that. But external Taoist, that's how it is. So now, also, if we can identify, it's just a matter of research. If that kind of tree have the property, now it was in one of my dissertation, one of my article. I did write it because now if Slovakia, the ministers of forestry, Dr. something, I forgot his name now. Remember, I had spoken to him about this in Slovakia. He was saying that they have some report on some trees and plant which give up the cancer, very good property of healing, for remedies and things. Right? Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
He was visiting in China, isn't it? He went to China as well because he's specializing in protection of the forest. Because you in Slovakia, you have that kind of illnesses, to turn all the tree into white dots and they kill the tree.
Yeah, it's illness of trees. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you remember him. Okay, thank you for sustaining my, you know, that.
Yes,
So I don't make things up. I didn't make things up. So, and I think you gave us some map of where these plants was because I was thinking about if we can harvest this plant and make in a circle form, right? The energy of that kind of tree will form a zoom of energy. Now, if we zap the patients and open up the patient and put him right inside this zoom of energy of the tree, which have, you know, the property of helping people to, you know, for healing the cancer of the revitalizations of the cell, because cancer, they're only cells. That would be great, isn't it? So that's a good question that Liver Young, that at the there are these trees around. They are different. They give them different properties. Okay, yeah. But obviously, we have to do a lot more research on that. A lot more research on that. So at the moment, we just start doing all the research. So hopefully, 8 research. Even after I've gone, you know, next generation, we continue doing this research with Mother Nature. Okay.
Libert had another question. How long does it take to trigger spontaneous?
Depending on the individual, isn't it? If people don't, you know, that's why now you can ask most of the people who came with me with a camp. Usually I zap people first, open them up, then let them connect. But sometimes because some years it's almost 100 people there. I can't do that kind of number of people because my energy is giving out every time. I'm losing energy because I'm sharing energy with people. Okay. So sometimes, you know, I let people using the methodology. So if you're really sensitive, you don't even have to do it. You go in right in front of it, bang, it's going to kick you into it, because what energy is more powerful than Mother Nature's energy? True. So it really depending on how sensitive the person. That's why susceptibility between cosmic and human energy. Okay, yeah. But you can train up to the levels. But like I said, I'm not born with it. I train with it. Some people are born with it. Right? Yeah. Lucky them, they're halfway there. But I have to work a long time for that.
I can share my experience with how fast it went. It took me 3 days before I really got into spontaneous. The first 3 days, I got nothing. Professor zapped me. I was lying 20 minutes on the floor. I was thinking, what am I doing here? And yeah, I thought, okay, nothing's happening to me. But then the third day, it happened when I was sun gazing. Then I started getting into spontaneous. Then I realized, yes, I'm getting into spontaneous. But it's because I have so much on my mind. I was too much in my beta phase, I think, too much activity on my mind. I could not go to the unconscious part. So yeah, for me, it took like 3 days. And then now I can go into spontaneous whenever I want and to detox myself. Yeah,
but be careful. Like I said, that's why people try to learn to control it. Okay, yeah. So this is like a sword. I use a sword because it's not a saber. Saber, you got one. Not a saber. Saber, you got one blade, one side. Right? A sword, you have 2 blades. So spontaneous reaction, spontaneous Qigong therapy, which is the main tools we use in the internal Taoist medicine. Okay, now I put it in front of you now. Okay, yeah. So if you move the sword like that, it can cut anything in front of you. That means it can help you, right, to stimulate your self-healing, okay, yeah, ability of your mind and body, okay. But if when you pull back the sword, and if you're not skilled, you kill yourself, you cut yourself as well. So don't play with energy you don't know, okay. That's very, very important. That's why you have to learn to control it through methodology. Okay, good.
Linda had one question. One question is already answered during your lecture, and it was let me see. What is the best time of the day to start meditation? Is that correct, Linda? Maybe you can ask yourself, because the first question was answered. Was there preparation needed ahead of this experience, or is it just being there and start to meditate? And the question on that one is, what is the best time of the day?
Daytime, that's the best time, yeah, of the day.
Yeah, best time of,
Now, for
best time of
now for if you look at these photosynthesis size, the best time of the day is daytime, right? Yeah. So the nighttime, obviously, reverse is tree giving out carbon dioxide. So obviously, it's not very good. You go into a zoom of carbon dioxide, wouldn't you? Okay. So that's the answer.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and Dr. Willis had a question. She raised her hand as well.
Okay, Dr. Willis.
Hello, dear professor. Hello, Nancy.
Hi.
Well, I just wanted to say that it's amazing everything you share, and very, very interesting about the elements and what you said about nitrogen, also oxygen, because in medicine, we always tend to think that joints problems or arthritis are related with age. And what you said about the tree training and Jing Qi Shu and Dao Jin Shu, they are examples of longevity. So it makes totally sense to work with the elements and the trees, because they are a living example of longevity.
Yes, yes, yes. Like I said, it's been 4,000 of years. I don't make things up. I'm only a student, isn't it? We're all students, so we can learn from the experience of the ancestors.
Those were the questions, Professor.
Yes. No more. Okay, good. Okay, then. So I'll call it a day. Yeah. I'm Dr. Waikileo, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Professor. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.